If you're a big fan of chapatis and they are delicious, and sometimes you crave a healthier option, this whole wheat chapatis recipe is just for you. Chapati is a very tasty flatbread, very popular in Indian cuisine. It was brought to East Africa by Indians who were brought in as laborers by the British to build a railway line from Mombasa to the interior of East Africa. Since then, it's become a mainstay of our cuisine. So without further ado, let's jump in and start making these delicious and tasty chapatis. So all we need for this recipe are 6 cups of whole wheat flour. So 6 cups. I'm going to add a tablespoon of salt. So the flour and the salt goes into this bowl. These are about 2 cups lukewarm water. And then we are going to measure a 1/3 cup of olive oil here. So we attach the bowl and our hook. Turn on the machine on low speed just to make the flour and the salt just for a bit. I will increase the speed a little bit and then start adding the water. I will reserve that for a second. I'm also going to add a 1/3 cup of olive oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Remember, this is a healthier option of chapati that we are making. Once the dough starts coming together, we are just going to add the rest of the water, a little at a time. And then I'll adjust the speed just a little bit. Once in a while, you want to stop the machine and check the consistency of your dough. We are looking for a very light dough, not very stiff. Just 1 more minute. Once the dough attaches to your hook, that's a very good sign that it's almost ready. And there we are. I'll take this dough off. I'll move it into the bowl. Very nice dough. So remember, this is a dough you can also just do by hand. The mixer makes a very nice smooth dough. It does a good job, but you can certainly do with your hands. So this dough is ready. So just give it a few turns. So that's what you're looking for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this dough about 10-15 minutes to rest and to relax. We'll come back in 15. So our dough is nicely relaxed here after about 15 minutes. So I'm going to take it off from the bowl here. And now it's ready to work with. So all I need to do is just to divide it into 2. And I'm going to do these chapatis in 2 different ways. So I'm going to set this aside, just fold it in 2. So you can actually make this dough by mixing all-purpose flour and whole wheat to make a lighter textured chapatis. But today we are focusing on doing a more healthier option. So this, I'm going to divide, I'm going to roll. I'll put these ones onto this plate here. Just loosely cover them again with this plastic. You can use a kitchen towel. And then on this one, I'm going to have it to relax just another like 3 minutes. And then we are going to roll it into a rectangle to fit this board, and then we'll work just the same way I work my other chapatis. If you've had a chance to watch them, if you haven't, watch my videos, soft layered chapatis, chapatis by hand on my channel. So whole wheat flour is more nutritious than the all-purpose because the kernels are ground whole, nothing is removed, while the all-purpose is the same flour but processed. When you enjoy whole wheat chapati, you are enjoying more fiber, more proteins, and more nutrients. So there we have it. So from here, I'm going to drizzle some of our olive oil here. So this is if you want to enjoy your chapatis nicely layered. You can do this extra step. Just dust it just so lightly, and then all I do is just fold it in, and then I'll come in here with my plastic cutter and then cut that rope. So I'll continue rolling and folding these. So once you're done rolling, I'll come here, take the first one and just roll it, bring it together to make just the same way you'll make a regular chapati, just like so. And then this goes onto a sheet pan that is dusted. As always, if it's bigger, you can always cut it. And then I'll continue and finish this. So I've adjusted this to be a little bit smaller. So all I'm going to do here is just tuck this in, and then I'll put this onto our sheet pan also. So the key when you're working with the doughs is at every step, just give it time to relax a little bit. It makes your work a little easier to work with it. So I'll take one of the chapatis here, dust the board just a little bit with just a tiny amount of flour here. We don't need much flour, but you don't want them to stick. So, and then you just roll them as you would do any regular chapati. That looks like a good size and a good round for me. So that is our layered chapati. Right there. So I'll put this one on the side. So in the meanwhile, I have a pan heating up on the stove to start cooking. So this is our other chapati. So this one we are not going to do the layered style. So this one we are going to try to flatten it and to roll it just around without adding extra oil. Remember the key here, healthy option. So I'm giving you two ways that you can do your chapatis. So if you want them nice, much more healthier, so you want to go with this one. Might want to remove this. So there we are, a fairly nice round. I'm not worried about how round it is. Once your pan is nice and hot, you want to just spread just some oil, just wipe it. So this seasons the pan, it prevents sticking. So we are going to start with our layered chapati, the one we expect to layer. So we lay it over and just give it like 30 seconds. It's gonna start bubbling. So you can definitely notice our chapati here is bubbling. So we are going to come in here and turn it. After another 30 seconds or so, it's all nice and puffy. So we're just gonna drizzle in just a tiny amount of our olive and canola blend or vegetable oil. See how much it puffs? Just like a regular chapati. And then we're just going to go in, turn it, just a little bit more oil. nice, soft. And then onto the pan, I'm going to lay our chapati that we didn't add the oil. We didn't fold this one with the oil. So this one we are going to cook with no additional oil. So you'll notice it's starting to bubble at the edges. So once it does that, you want to come in, turn it, and then have it cook for about 30 seconds or so. We are cooking it on a low medium heat. Turn it, it's getting some color. So this is a good option if you are looking for a very low fat, very healthy chapati. You can do it this way. Otherwise, you can start here and add some oil, but we are just going to cook it this way. So you'll notice it still just slightly puffs. And this is done. So I'm going to remove it onto a plate lined with a paper towel. I'll continue cooking the rest of the chapatis and we'll come back and see how we've done. So here we are, friends, with our whole wheat chapati recipe made two different ways. First, I have these that we didn't add any oil apart from the oil that we use to make the dough. They are nice, they are very soft. These are very good, especially if you're going to eat them straight away. They don't hold for long. They are more nutritious and they are more healthier. Look at that. They're just nice and very soft. They don't look as beautiful, but they're especially very good if you're looking for a low-fat option. So there we have those. I'm going to cover them back. And then I'm going to unveil our other option here. So this is our regular layered, made the layered style, just the same way you'll do the other chapatis. Look at that, very nice, very soft, with all the layers that you expect from a chapatis. So these ones have more oil used in them. So, but they're still nutritious. Remember, we used a whole wheat flour with no all-purpose flour, apart from just a little bit for the rolling. So this is very good, very nutritious, and very healthy. So as you can see them side by side, they definitely look different, but remember, it's just the same recipe. So it's up to you to choose which option, which direction you want to go to. But at the end of the day, you have a nutritious chapati recipe that you can work with, that you can use to make delicious chapatis any day of the